Hello, everyone. It's Sunday. It's Jazz. It's the West Ham Irons channel, and I'm going to be bringing you some more good news. So it's been a good week, I would say, where we announced our first signing of the window in Lingard last. I think it was Monday, and I brought you the exciting news that Lingard a bid has gone in. Discussions are taking place now, and I'm very confident that deal will be done. And then obviously earlier on today, the news broke that Alphonse Areola, our goalkeeper that was on loan last season, the terms and the fee have finally been agreed with the player and PSG, and he's on holiday recently, so he's due to come back to sort of West Ham London tomorrow to sign everything and finalise everything. So yeah, so he's going to be our second signing of the window, second signing in just over a week, really. So I just wanted to know from you guys, really, what your feelings were about Areola. I mean, I felt he wasn't really given a great deal of games, well, none in the league, I don't think, and great performance at Sevilla, and then just wasn't given sort of a run. I was expecting to play in the last 5-6 games, so David Moyes could have even a closer look at him, really. So yeah, he didn't quite get his chance. He patiently, obviously had a good run in the Europa. But my question down there is, Areola, yep, he's going to be coming in, but David Moyes, who's he going to pick for that first league game at Manchester City on Sunday at 4:30 at London Stadium? That's the key question for me, and I want you guys in the chat to discuss, really. So let's have a look what's going on in the chat. Oh, happy Hammerat, how you doing? Hope everything's well and your Sunday's doing well. Hopefully not doing too much work. Obviously, Sunday, a lot of the time, especially in the evenings, people thinking about work sort of on the Monday. So I hope a bit too early for that. So hopefully you can enjoy a glass of wine or something like that. So thanks for joining in. Got Mick's in there. Mick, how you doing? It's going mad in the chat room again. I mean, last night's show Lingard, I think we nearly hit 2K. I got to admit something. I got told off by YouTube because I was showing the Lingard goals, so the Premier League kind of had a go at me saying it's copyright. Why did you do it? So in the morning for about an hour, I don't think anyone could have clicked on the video, so I had to do a few things. It's all fixed now and all forgiven. I'm not going to be going to prison or anything. So it's all these little things you learn, isn't it? So Mick, hope everything's well. Lawrence, how you doing, mate? How you doing? What time is it there, mate? Let me know. Because I work with the personally in the company, I work with the what do you call it, the West Coast a lot, so they're completely sort of so far away. So when we finish work at 5-6 in the afternoon, they're logging on. So huge time difference, really. Lawrence, Areola, mate, that's the key question. What do you think? Who do you think will be the goalkeeper? With David Moyes, you don't know. He might go with Fabianski again, and I don't want that. I want Areola in the sticks. I want him to switch it around and put Areola in there and then tell Fabianski it's up to you to kind of take it off him. Fab's been good serve a couple of years, but he's coming to the end, and I don't have any confidence in him, but we'll discuss that a bit later on. Let's catch up more things in the chat. Danny boy, mate. Oh, do you really think so, mate? Oh, come on. Seriously. I'm not going to be happy about that, mate. I'm not going to be happy about that. Okay, not too bad. So you have time to have your breakfast and things like that, really. So let's share some sort of things on Areola anyway before we get into more comments. So Areola, everyone, Alphonse Areola, 29 years old. So literally, he's not going to be 30 until next February. So good time for that. So he's certainly very young. Just 3 caps for France. Obviously, about a year ago, they were saying that Lloris at Spurs, this guy's going to take over if he obviously has a regular slot at club like West Ham and shows good form, really. I think so, mate. I think Areola's everything that Fabianski is. And if you notice, since the injuries, Fabianski doesn't like to take any goal kicks. So there was a time where our fullbacks were taking a lot of the kicks. He hasn't got any power in the legs, so very rarely his goal kicks will reach above the halfway line. He's a good shot stopper, of course, Fabianski is, and he made a very good penalty save last season as well. But for me, the distribution, and there is uncertainty at the back. He sometimes he he doesn't come out a lot. He hasn't got confidence to come out of his goal line a lot, and it creates that uncertainty between the centre backs, Whereas Areola is athletic, much taller, long arms, and hopefully, yeah, being French, Zuma French, Duke French, Agard French, it's going to help, isn't it, with language and understanding and that kind of thing? Because a lot of these players have played together at youth level; they know each other really. Yeah, but I mean, we got to pick the 29-year-old. This is his prime as a goalkeeper. I mean, I remember when we sort of broke the. Well, I don't remember, but reading about it, I mean, Phil Parkes was kind of going out there and breaking the record, really. So before we go into records, I wanted to share something else with you guys. Here is the list of most expensive goalkeepers recently. So have a look at that list of the most expensive. So you've got Kepa, Chelsea, 71 million. You've got Becker at Liverpool, 65 million. Courtois, 35 million. Madrid. Man City, 34 million. Buffon's up there. Pickford, 25 million he went for back in 2017. Toldo. So yeah, quite an interesting list up there. When you look at our competitors, obviously Arsenal bought Ramsdale. He's virtually nearly he's a cult hero up there. They like him. Even they're thinking he's going to be captain for them. Spurs still got to spend a bit in that section. I mean, they got Lloris is getting on a bit. Liverpool, Man City, solid goalkeepers. Man United, everything is up and down. Newcastle with Pope. So let me know in the chat. Did you want Pope? I would have preferred Pope a little bit over Areola because I've been following Pope for a while. But I know some people have told me that Pope, again, with the ball at his feet, he's a little bit, all over the place. But I think Pope is really, really good signing. The thing with Pope is I don't know how much he's gone for. There's rumours that the fee's as low as 19 million or 20, something like that. So again, let me know in the chat who's going to be our number one goalkeeper when the season starts, and would you want Pope instead of Areola? It'd be interesting to kind of hear sort of your comments on that, really. Must have to say. Well, he had that great game in Europa, I remember. Great save. I think it was Sevilla. And then he just didn't get a run. I thought, God, this is the time to put him. Because Fabianski was kind of erratic. I think there was a mistake even in the last game. Was it Brighton on the game before where he could have done a bit better? I think it was the Brighton game, wasn't it? So I think, obviously, listen, it's a very difficult position, very specialised. And your mistakes, obviously, when it's a mistake, it's a goal. So you can't hide behind that. If you lose the ball in the middle of the park, you can get away with it. So I do understand that it's hard to be 100%, 90% all of the time. But for me, Fabianski does not fill me with any confidence. I'm just waiting to see something's going to go wrong. And sometimes he gets away with it. But for me, I think Areola, you need to back him, give him confidence. That's the other thing with David Moyes. You've got to give a goalkeeper the confidence, put your arm around him, trust him as your number one, and don't drop him, and tell him that you're going to play for the next 10 games. Even if we lose 6-0, 4-0, you're going to be my man. Where I was a bit worried with David sometimes with players, how he handles them. So I'm a bit worried about that. And Fabianski, again, could be labelled as one of David Moyes' favourites. Fornals is in that kind of thing, as well as one or two other players. So I hope, he gives Areola the trust to start number one, really. Let's catch up with more comments. Dana boy, trouble is if. Yeah, I think we had the first sort of yes or no on him, which is really good. And I think his wage is around 120,000 a week at PSG. So that will come out tomorrow, what he's signed. What I know is it's 11 million deal. It's a 5-year contract. He's 29. He was earmarked as France's number one only a couple of years ago, So being second PSG isn't really something to judge upon. I think he was Fulham's player of the season, and he saved that penalty for them, West Ham. I'm not sure. So again, Premiership experience, not really a risk. Just kind of give him a good run, and I think he'll become. But it's very key to David Moyes' confidence in the lad. I think that's very key that David doesn't keep bringing him in, pulling him out, stick him in the cups, because it's unfair because the cup games only come around every few months, and then it's hard to just hit the ground running and then come out again, come in again. It's easier in the league, isn't it? Week in, week out. So that'll be good. That's the thing, really. I think good managers always used to say, we can't promise you a starting spot. That's what we're told that the manager should say, isn't it? Looking at it on the other half. But then, you, I mean, come on, Fabianski's 37. He's kind of been and done it. He's been a regular for, yeah, 3, 4, 5 years with us. You could just tell him he's got to take it. So listen, Fab, we're going to give you another small contract. You might even have a position in the coaching afterwards. You're a good lad, but he's our number one. He's the future. And it's for you to help him, guide him, and take the number one spot back. But when the season starts, he's our number one. That's what I would do. Why wait until Fabianski, mate? Playing Man City first game. I mean, rather have Areola in there, mate. Rather have Areola in there. Yeah, mate, I know that. I know that. Yeah, Luca again. Luca, how you doing, mate? You all right? Good to see you, mate. Luca's kind of been in every show recently, mate. I'll let you know privately because I don't even look. So what I did out of my because it's one of the things that used to drive me mad about other people and channels. Always mad about subs. Always drumming again. For me, I want to concentrate interacting with you guys about content, different, having good people on the shows, good ideas, different. So what I do is I don't show my subs. I don't even have a look. I've got an idea what it is, and I'll let you know because I started in January. I had a channel before then, which is hit 1.1k with Malsey. Me and Malsey did that together, and then I did this one. So that was 1.1k started a year ago. This one's only in January, so we'll let you know, mate. We'll let you know on that. Yeah, Lawrence Pope's good, and Newcastle. Yeah, they're doing a few things that, yeah, a little bit envious of them. Like they got Trippier, they're going to make the Target deal permanent. That big Brighton boys there, the Dutch centre backs going to be coming in. There's a striker lined up for them. So, mate, I think they're being wise. They're not really being silly with the money, unless all the players are not sure about going there. So all the players they have bought, it's not been crazy money, has it? It's been reasonable. Yeah, I mean, let's have a look at Areola in terms of what he's done, and he has been on loan a lot, mate. You're right. He's been at Villarreal, a couple of teams over Bastia Lens in France, Real Madrid, PSG. So that's not a bad CV, is it, mate? And then you got Fulham and West Ham. So yeah, he's been around. He's been around, mate. Obviously, let's just have a look at how many games he played for us. I don't think it was that many. Let's have a look. That's not working that bit anyway. Let me go back to the chat again. It's going to be difficult, Luca, because I think we did finish sixth 2 years ago to get to the Europa. Missed out in Champions League by 2 points. Chelsea seventh last season, finished one or two behind Man United. Again, we didn't hardly sign anyone last season. But Newcastle are going to be our rivals, I think, aren't they? I mean, Man United is a wounding animal. We don't know what's going to happen with Man United. You don't know what this new manager is going to do. They've got around 15 players they need to get rid of. United, it's a nightmare over there. Hopefully we're in the European spot. Rice could be his last season with us, mate. We don't know. Chelsea are trying to pinch him this summer, so a lot of things up in the air at the moment. We certainly do need a big revamp, as Frankie said on my show yesterday, that it's a big revamp. We're not just adding one or two touch ups like Liverpool do. We haven't bought that much as we should have last 2-3 windows. So we are literally looking at left back, right back, central midfield, and number 10, which hopefully will be Lingard, and one or two strikers. And that's after buying Knife Ergerd last week as a centre back, and then Areola hopefully coming in tomorrow. So we still do need 4, 5, 6 players. It's a big guy because we've lost 4 or 5 players as well, mate. Yeah, I think it's just there for provide comfort, isn't it, for the player, and perhaps the club saying we believe in you. So 5 years, yeah, it's quite a good one, isn't it? Yeah, but he's probably realistic that he wasn't going to get that anywhere. So I think he's just happy that he's familiar with London. And being in London, a club being in London is a big plus point with a lot of players, especially from abroad. London is somewhere where their families, their wives, their children, they enjoy it more than perhaps some cities up north, which are bit difficult maybe to get into the community, whereas London's quite multicultural, lots of things to do. So I think that helps us really. I know, mate. I mean, I feel sorry for Ben Rama. It hasn't helped, and you can tell he's that kind of player. He needs an arm around him. Some people don't, and he certainly did provide that to Lingard. And I was wondering what Ben Rama would have thought. Where you can imagine the scene in the dressing room where David is all over Lingard. He's my golden kid, and then they got Ben Rama in the corner. Like, oh, you see what I mean? It's a bit naughty of David like that. He should show love to everyone, you know. Ben Johnson, mate, has had a very, very difficult time left back. Sometimes one game he's a left back, next game he's right back, then he's taken out of the team again. And there was rumours that he hasn't committed to his contract. Again, he's just not getting the fluency in terms of playing in his right position for a number of games. He's just all over the place, filling in wherever there's a gap, and that's not good for any player's development, really. Kafal, got to keep an eye on him, mate. He wasn't quite as good as, but he did have an injury. I realised that, but he's quite erratic. I wouldn't. Let's see how he starts. Hopefully, it was the injury, but I think again we need to invest in the fullback area. We haven't invested in that area in a good while, as you know. It's kind of. I mean, how long has Creswell been at a club? Ages. You know, it's Big Sam's time, wasn't it? Many years ago, and Fredericks, his time here was really bad. A complete waste of a signing. Fredericks just wasn't up to it. Championship player at best. We really struggled. I mean, the last good fullback, Lucas Neal, was good, wasn't he? Captain right back. Yeah, great player Lucas Neal was back then. Repka was again a bit tough, not bad. Julian Dick's obviously one of my favourite players. Ray Stewart before that. Yeah, it's hard to get good fullbacks, but you need to invest in good fullbacks, I think, because they can become your slash wing backs and provide that extra width. Because our fullbacks have not really been bombing on. They're not. I mean, Kufal does, to be fair, but Krezi and Fredericks' delivery was poor. So yeah, we really need to. It's a very tough position, so we do need to look at that and invest in that, really. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably discuss that maybe tomorrow, but that is coming up. That news is building up this afternoon. The Keen Lewis Potter one again. I haven't looked at that player in any of my shows. I will bring that to you tomorrow, I think, guys, and then have a look at Arno. Yeah, Villarreal is he? I think, but a lot of big teams are saying if he goes to West Ham's amazing play, he's not cheap. You're talking a lot of money for him, but I'll have a look at that. Yeah. God, you boys have had your lunch, mate. You're all buzzing about in the chat, mate. Absolutely brilliant. Not sure if they'll let him go, will he? I mean, there should be good players. I wonder, Origi, where did Origi end up? I remember we were linked with him, weren't we? Liverpool's got a great squad. Yeah, I think there was a fullback in Scotland, wasn't it? Liverpool got him. We were looking at that, weren't we? Villa have, and not sure what's going on there, really. Because if you remember, Villa bid, or they wanted to bid 35 million for Basuma in January, and they went quiet, and he's gone to Tottenham for 22 million. And Villa, don't know what's happening with Villa, mate. Don't know what's happening. I'm not sure in Gerrard either as a manager, mate. I'm not impressed. You know, he had two players on the bench like Bailey and Bunia, was it 35 million, and they were all over the place. You know, a lot of money being spent on that team. They're not just showing anything. And Ings was up and down. Watkins has been nowhere near as good as his first season. And like yesterday we were discussing, I wouldn't mind giving Watkins a chance. Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah. That's the thing with David Moyes. He's got his favourites, isn't he? And some of the other players are sort of treated a bit differently, mate, aren't they? Let me just show you something else, really. Let's have a look. Yeah, do you remember that Nagakia? That was a weird one, wasn't it? Nagakia. He came in as I think he was a right back out of nowhere, young kid. His first two games, I think, were like Man City or Liverpool. I saw the Liverpool game live. He just looked mature beyond his years and took it comfortably. And then he walked out the club, and I thought, what the hell's that about? That was weird, wasn't it? I mean, I think he's went to Watford. Don't think he played much last season. So some weird things happen at West Ham, don't they? You know, really weird. Yeah, I don't know what to make out of Johnson. Again, I need to see him in his favoured position, and again, I need to see sort of him given a good chance. Then I can judge really. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Coutinho's a bit of a weird one. I mean, he hit the ground running, then he just went quiet, and they still want to buy him. I mean, I'm not sure about Coutinho. When people are on loan, some of these players they show it for a bit, but as soon as you tie them down, you just don't see the same intensity with them really. Just shut that down a minute. Won't be a minute, would you guys? Let's have a look. So basically, yeah, 11 million deal, everyone, 5-year contract. Looks like we're happy with that, and we all kind of agree that we want Areola to be in the discussions tomorrow when he officially signs that you are my number one starting. So it's up to you to gain the shirt, and it will be down to you to lose it, but you will be given it. You can't. I think if you put him on the bench again, he's like, oh my god, here we go again. What are we going to wait for? Because it does take a couple of really bad mistakes or goalkeeper to be dropped, and then that doesn't sometimes happen. Because when you've made a mistake, it's too late. You've lost the game, and usually next game you pick it up again. So when is he going to be given that chance? I'm not sure about that. Yeah, because I think Areola one that'll be done, and I am sticking my neck out and saying the Lingard one is going to happen, mate. Unless Newcastle are coming, but Newcastle have dropped out of that as far as I know for some reason. Because don't forget, Lingard is 29, and that does not fit a lot of people's sort of buying philosophy, really. For us, it's a free transfer. It's a player we know, so we do have some extra brownie points to go and get him in this position we desperately need. And it's because David doesn't have any confidence in Benrahma, really. So we need someone like that, because some games, like I was saying, we looked lack of ideas and invention. That's what Jesse brings, really. I think the bid has gone in. Discussions are taking place now. So I would give it until Wednesday, Thursday, I think. So let's give everyone, Jesse's team, West Ham's team, 3-4 days, and then we'll find out if any other clubs are in there or is something, because the bid's gone in. So hopefully, because like the Tottenham manager, we should also give instructions with the offer from David Moyes that we want to get this deal done quick before we go off to pre-season in July. Like, we want you tell us right now if you're coming or not. It's not going to let this Lingard thing drag on like the last two windows. So I'm very confident that for his benefit and match fitness that you've signed a deal ASAP, then you're mine mentally, and you can even go on holiday for a week if you want, knowing that you've secured your future. And then you come back and join the people at the training ground in the pre-season. We've got to get as many players as quickly as we can to join the pre-season, really. That's got to be one. It's going mad. Bloody hell, it's going mad in the chat. I remember Reece Oxford. It was the Arsenal away game, opening game, when Bilic's first game, he did this great sort of tactical masterclass, Bilic, and he sat Oxford. Was he in the centre mid, CDM, and he kind of one of their great players, and we thought Rio Ferdinand has arrived, and then I don't know what happened after that. They said mentally he's all over the place. We're not sure about him. And then he went to Germany on loan. That was a weird one. And then I heard he wants to come back again. We're always linked with him, mate. But then again, the age, 30, 31, 32, I don't think a lot of clubs, because then you're going to give them 3-4 years. I know you remember Harry always used to love doing that, buying 30-year-olds, non-risky. You can do it. And then the board used to get fed up saying, Harry, we've got 10 players. You've given them contracts at the age of 36. We're kind of stuck with them, really. Yeah, I know, mate. That's a bit like that lad we bought from Man United, wasn't he? He kind of went all over the place. I've got his name now. He had all kinds of trouble, didn't he? Yeah, that is building up, mate. How you doing? You're right. That is building up back then, June. I don't know much about him, but I will do a show tomorrow on him and do some research. But what I'm hearing from other fans, neutral fans, is that he's shit hot, and they're saying, God, if he goes to West Ham, wow, what a player they're going to get. So he's a winger, what I know, but we're all dying to get a striker in. So come on, let's get some. I want fullbacks and, yeah, striker position, Yeah, I mean, I'd love to get Ward-Prowse. If there's one player I want to sign this window, Ward-Prowse would be the one. You know, his setback, 10 goals a season like last season from Ward-Prowse, CDM, England next to Rice, every corner, bang on the penny, every free kick, 1 out 2's going in, penalty, forget about it. It's in anyway. Can you imagine that? 10 goals and what you would bring to the team. You know, not going to be cheap. You never know. That would be a big statement from West Ham. You know, for me, if we went for him, but that would probably mean check out the door. I think, but that's the one. And Ward-Prowse has been linked for. It's getting stronger and stronger to link with Ward-Prowse. So he did sign a 5-year contract last summer. I'm not sure. Yeah, yeah, I believe so, mate. And that's with the assumption, with the bid, instructions from David Moyes will be: we want you. Here's that commitment, but you've got to decide very soon whether you're going to come or not. You know, yes, you're in. No, we move on. But I think that's gonna happen, mate. Hi Pat, how you doing, mate? You all right? Hope you're having a great Sunday, mate. I was just doing a lot of gardening earlier. My back's killing me. I've got to have a lot of stuff to do in the garden, pulling out bloody weeds, all sorts, mate. And then after the show, I'll have a bit of a run, mate. Should I say? You know? Yeah, we got to move on. That's why Vlasic came, because we kept hoping for Lingard. So Lingard kept saying, "Not sure. Yeah, I will." Then the next day, don't know, don't know. And it kept going on and on and on and on and on. And then we panicked and we bloody wasted 33 million on Vlasic. So nightmare, absolute nightmare. Are they? I feel sorry for them because you know that was that Nations Cup thing. What the hell was all that about, mate? You know the players are so knackered, and then Rice had to virtually play every game. Bowen, I mean, listen, it's good for Bowen being fresh in the team, but these boys need, especially with the World Cup coming around so early. So I think there's going to be a break between November and December at some point. All the chats will get in on well, aren't they? I ain't seen much of him, but then again, you gotta decide in pre-season what you want to do with him, isn't it? What I'm hearing about Broja, everyone, is that before we're allowed to have any meaningful discussions with Chelsea, the Chelsea manager wants to have a look at him in pre-season before he says yes or no. And if he says yes, so this could go right to the wire, the Broja one, I think, because I think Newcastle will be sniffing around, Southampton going to be sniffing. I'm not worried about Southampton that much. I don't think he wants to go back there, but he has given a hint. He's from Berkshire originally, Slough, as I mentioned. He used to be in the same primary school class as my daughter. Really lovely family. I think they're from Albania. His dad has coached him virtually single-handedly. The boy's 20. He just got to work on his goal ratio a bit, Broja. He doesn't score enough. I don't think he scored after Christmas, but again, like I said, I saw him win a penalty at our ground. The boy can play by himself up front. He's physically very strong, very confident in his ability, very natural. Bit of an Andy Carroll, but obviously a little bit smaller. But he's only 20. He's going to get more powerful, more confident, plays for Albania, scores regularly on the international scene, so well worth buying him. Well worth buying him, mate. All right, interesting. I'll have a look at that, mate. Yeah, okay. Actually, talking about the NFL, I think Gareth Bale is going to go there, isn't he? There was rumours that he was going to go to Cardiff, but he's changed his minute. I think that there's no golf courses in Cardiff or as good as ones he's going to get in the US. So I think he's going to be joining the NFL, mate. Yeah, 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 yeah. Because your confidence grows. The more players you get in early, the more confident the fans get. The feeling around the club gets better. The players, especially, because I reckon they were upset in January. Something wasn't right at a club after January, and there was rumours that Rice and Noble went to the board to say, "What's going on? We need help. Why are we not signing anyone?" So I think once the players know people are coming in, it makes them confident, and we need to start the confidence in pre-season. That's where you build up your form, and then it's kind of let's go again. But the players are tired. The current group have been together 2 years without any new faces hardly, apart from Zuma. So new faces put you on your toes. Some people coming in with big reputations. They want to take your position off you, and we need players who want to slot straight into the 11 like Arga, 30 million. I think he'll he'll be a regular from the offset, really. So that's kind of thing. We'll discuss it online, mate. Yeah, we'll discuss it offline. Okay, interesting, mate. Isn't that the boy Chelsea bought? Pulisic, I forgot his name. Pulisic. He came from NFL. He's been up and down in his form a little bit. But yeah, I think the Fulham had an American player, didn't they? Striker. He was very good. Well, that's a bit statement. I'm quite confident, aren't you, mate? We'll see what happens. Dana boy, he's not sure about NFL. Oh, sorry. Yeah, very good football on mine, mate. Yeah. Too early, mate. Too early. But really, yeah, that was it. Really, for me, it was like this one again seemed to be dragging. But some things we forget is that people are on holiday, agents are on holiday, so you have to wait a little bit. And then obviously we're getting frustrated. But the good news is obviously with Newcastle going the other way with Pope, we managed to kind of sort this one out. I'm a bit slow, mate. You know, I told you I haven't got my rum. Look, I'm on the water at the moment. I can't function. I need rum, mate. But yeah, I mean, look, chat's buzzing. We did 2 shows yesterday. It's gone ballistic, mate. I think the Lingard show nearly hit 2,000. That's nuts. 2K. The show I did with Frankie's hit nearly 500. The chat's buzzing. I can't even keep up with it. You guys are just too good to me, mate. Absolute legends, you lot. And again, on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. You know, got my handle there at the top at Jazz West Ham. Send me private messages if you want to be on the show. I'm looking for new people to come on and join me. You know, I'm all up for that. That's how we all started. So yeah, open to anything, mate. Ideas. Next, this Thursday coming up at 8:00, we're going to be doing We Were There. 1980 FA Cup final. We're going to have 4 fans with me who were there that day in 1980. West Ham won, Arsenal 0. And it's not going to be that much about the game because we know what happened. This is about back in the day. Lads, what kind of day was it? Where were you from? How did you get there? What did you pay for your ticket? What did you eat? You know, all the kind of things that went through a fan back in 1980. We don't know, do we? You know, I love to sort of look at history and things like that, really. So that'll be absolutely brilliant. Oh God, I'm running a bit behind with the old with the old things again, the comments again. Ian, how you doing, mate? Yeah, run, mate. As soon as this is up, I'm going to go in the garden, mate. Yeah. Okay. Fine. I'll have a check on that, mate. Yeah. I'll tell you what, agents can use Newcastle to put the price up, cheeky sods, you know. So Newcastle are coming in handy for a lot of people, you know. By the way, I don't think that Saudi deal should have gone ahead, but that's politics. Let's not go there. Pat, you were there. You nutter. Watch the show, mate. Watch the show. I mean, I'd love to get you on there, but I've got 4 people on there, and I think that's bloody quite a lot, isn't it? So if anyone drop out, I'll give you a shout, but join in, yeah. I've done a couple of shows with these lads before, so if, look up. We did the 1976 Eintracht Frankfurt semi-final. So 2 of the boys, Nick and John, were there. They're going to be back in, and we got another new guy there, so there'll be 3, 4 of us discussing that, mate. Oh, wise man, mate. But Twitter for me has been okay, but I know it can be quite, quite damaging, mate. The old thing. It's a very hot day, wasn't it, Pat? What I remember looking at it, and the other interesting thing, Pat, isn't that we moan about London Stadium being really far away from the pitch, but when you look at the old images of Wembley, mate, behind the goal especially, that is one hell of a distance. But it didn't stop the atmosphere, did it? 100,000, 110 FA Cup final day. You could feel the atmosphere through your TV, you know, coming through. That's quite interesting, isn't it? You were quite far away in some parts of Wembley. I never wanted the Twin Towers. I'm very nostalgic, traditional, historical person, so I was quite upset why the Twin Towers were not reused. But I wonder what they did to it, eh? Someone buy them. What it is, Lawrence, Newcastle, you've got to give them their fair dues. A bit like Leeds, they're a one-city club. They're a huge club. I went there last season for the first game of the season. I loved it. I stayed overnight in Leeds. I had a blast. I went in. Oh, bring with me every away game. I wear to my West Ham top. I go into all the away sort of pubs and I don't give a shit. So I went to the pub. Everyone's really friendly. My boys were in good spirits. It's just that in that away in Newcastle, it's all those steps you got to go up. It's like, oh my god, it kind of kills you by the time you get to the top and you're in the heavens. It's a really odd ground. It's a mishmash of a ground. You got one stand that's reasonably big, nothing on the other side. But obviously, it's got a history of, and they are going to be moving to new ground in 3-4 years because the Reuben brothers are from a real estate background. So the management team is, you've got Saudi people in there with the money. You've got that Amanda who obviously got a lot of corporate experience with Middle East, and you've got the Reuben brothers who are real estate gods up north. You've got the whole dream team to make anything happen, whatever they want, mate. Very passionate. A lot of the players used to say passionate Leeds and Newcastle, unbelievable, very, very loud. Pat, you've done it, mate. You've been and done it, ain't you? Jesus, Pat. You're going to have to come on, mate, some of the shows, because I'm going to be doing the 81 League Cup final, Liverpool, and the replay. And we'll do some games from 86 as well, mate. 85, 86. We'll do the 89 League Cup Liverpool 4-1 victory. So keep an eye on that. Pat, again, if you're on Facebook, Twitter, Pat, private DM, message me and hopefully get you on one of the shows. Always wait until March, mate, when they're about £20-30. I'm not going to pay 50, 40, 50, 60, whatever. I mean, it's not even 40, are they about 50 now, aren't they? So that's what I'd like to do. Pat's an experienced guy, mate. 69. Is that when the colour sort of images appeared? I remember the 70 World Cup was the first one live. Was it via satellite back then? A lot of people bought their first TV for the 70 World Cup, mate. What a World Cup that was. That was the best one, wasn't it? 1970, especially the final, Brazil and Italy. Wow. Something that wasn't right with Mane. You could tell that. Something, and he's just come out of it saying, I wasn't as loved as much as Salah. So two little spoiled babies crying. Who gives a shit? Just give your best, and then the fans eventually will like you. It's not a popularity game, is it? But some players have got huge egos. But you could imagine the ego with Mane and Salah in the same dressing room. And people used to laugh at me. I could see that one never used to give it to the other and vice versa. It's just like silly, isn't it? I think what's interesting, which is we're going to sell one or two, I think, to beef up the budget. I think so. You're looking at Jupe, you're looking at perhaps Souček, you're looking at perhaps Van Roma. So I don't know that's kind of changed my answer, but I think it's going to be interesting, and hopefully it'll be good. It has to be good. I think finally the shit hit the fan with David Moyes after happening, because I think we missed one hell of a chance to win that Europa Cup, and I stick my head out and say we were better than Eintracht Frankfurt and Rangers. We played Eintracht Frankfurt 10 times. We beat them more times than they beat us. They scored after 51 seconds. Kresi gets sent off for the second time in the fucking same tournament. And when that Bowen overhead kick hit the bar, I said to everyone, Eintracht Frankfurt's name's on the cup. You just know when those kind of, I don't know how the hell that never went in, But it is what it is, mate. So I think CDM, left back or right back, and a striker, 3-4 minimum, mate. So plenty more to come in, and I think at the end of it, we'll kind of be happy. I know fans are saying we shouldn't sell anyone, but I'm not happy with Souček, and I'd rather just recycle players that are not quite happening for us, Vlasic, and just move on and be a bit more strict. I mean, we've got to stop thinking like we used to, like a lower mid-table team. Now we're looking at top 6, top 7. It's a different mentality. We've got to be strict. If you're not up for it, if you're not going to join us on the journey, if you're going to be 6 and 7 out of 10, because Rice has carried the team too much. I've been watching Rice. He's never below 8 out of 10. The boys, you never notice Souček next to him. All I notice is Rice all over the pitch, nicking the ball here and there, setting up plays, breaking plays up. The boys doing too much. He needs better help next to him. So all I see Souček used to do, running into empty spaces, no tackles, no assists, nothing. So the stats will say he's ran and ran and ran, but it's not meaningful, is it? So we'll see, mate. We'll see. But anyway, I'm going to call it a night, call it quits. So thank you all for joining in. You guys are legends. Hopefully, I'll do something tomorrow or the day after, or just wait for the news. Exciting news happens. I'm going to jump on it quick, mate. But you guys have a great Sunday. Have a glass of wine, glass of whiskey, beer, cup of tea, whatever. Enjoy yourselves. Don't try to think too much about work tomorrow if you're working. And it's a bit cooler now, a bit more manageable for everyone. Got too hot in it last week or so. So again, love you all. Join me next Thursday, 8 o'clock, looking at the 1980 FA Cup final. And I will be doing one or more Hammer History shows as well. I'm actually going to put them out again on Twitter because I think some people didn't realise I did them. So I did the Green Street, went back to Green Street, filmed it over three long parts in depth with two free fans who obviously from different parts, different decades. So have a watch that on my channel. I'll put them out on Twitter again as a link for everyone later on today. So let me just catch up with Pat, you take care, mate. Really appreciate you joining, mate, and everyone have a great day. So come on, you Irons, let's carry on buying players and sort this squad out.